Quotient offers extensive out-of-the-box data integration from a number of different vendors across different categories. But in addition, customers would also like to augment this source data with their own internal content. So we actually provide a facility to integrate customized content into Quotient. I will now show you how that works. In our particular free cash flow yield factor, we combine operating cash flow with market capitalization that are sourced from a SQL table from within our local data environment. The way our data mapper module works is you direct Quotient to create a new map of the data, and Quotient will ask me where I would like to source this data. I will then select the source of this data from a SQL table. Quotient will then ask which data connection I would like to use. In Quotient, we have the concept of a connection profile that conveniently refers to a data connection by name. Each connection profile can be configured with the affiliated credentials to support connection to different data stores across a range of storage technologies, venues, and domains. In this case, we are connecting to one of our local internal SQL Server databases, and the box below lists all of the SQL tables that are available within this database. You can actually search and find what table you are looking for, or you enter a search string to locate the specific table of interest. In this case, I'm going to select this table, which is actually the monthly market cap for the S&P 1500 universe, which is indexed on the 𝐓𝐨𝐨𝐥 security identifier. The next stage of the data mapper presents a data interface configuration panel, as well as displaying a summary of the first 10 rows of the data from this source table. Before I proceed further, I'll give this data map a name. Here I'll call it Data Mapper 7. Now, as you will see, the interface configuration panel provides many options and flexibility for the integration of data from this table. Here, columns can be given an index role, as shown in blue, or a value role, as shown in yellow. In this table, we have an index column named 𝐶DOL. In the Data Mapper tool, we have the ability to direct Quotient to identify this particular column as a column of 𝐶DOL security identifiers. And we also have the opportunity to remap this data to a new target identifier using this Quotient installation's security master facility, which can be customized for each customer's identifier licenses and subscriptions to support different security IDs. In this case, I'm choosing to remap the IDs as part of the integration process from the data that's currently coming from this table in the form of 𝐶DOL identifiers, and to map them to Refinitive's QA-ID identifiers, which serve as the master identifier for our local security master. We also have the ability to document the currency of the data from the given source columns. So in this case, I know that the data in the values column of this table is being provided in US dollars. So I'm going to document that this particular currency treatment as part of the data integration exercise. You'll also notice that Quotient will give you an option to translate the source data from the source currency to another target currency using prevailing historical exchange rates during the integration process. In my case, I'm choosing to leave the currency as US dollars. Note that Quotient is currency aware and supports currency translation reconciliation in any downstream calculations for data that has been tagged as currency relevant. So ultimately, the way Quotient's data integration works is that I merely save this new data map that I have just created, and it will appear in our data environment. If I then request the data from this map, it will appear in Quotient and behave in the same manner as other data from data vendor integrations as shown earlier. But in this particular case, the data result will be generated from a query that will be rendered on the fly based on the configuration settings that we have chosen in the integration setup earlier. Note also that Quotient's Data Mapper tool provides details on exception handling that may occur as part of the data integration process.